Thank you.
Her new book is called The Secret Keeper, and Kate's here to talk a little bit about that and about her life and times today. Welcome.
Thank you very much. It's great to be here. Thanks for coming.
When did you start to write your own stories, Kate?
Not till I was a grown-up, strangely. I was such a reader, so voracious growing up. I was mad for Enid Blyton. And I always know I'm among friends when I say that. And I had heaps of books. We didn't have a lot of money, but my mum is a second-hand dealer. And so I read like mad. But I just didn't know that writers were real people. It was... I know it sounds mad, but it was pre the vogue we have now for writers to get into schools and encourage kids and talk to them, and you know, the cult of J.K. Rowling, where kids really identify with the person who produced the books. And I suppose the books I was reading were written by people who lived a long way away, decades before I was born. So as a consequence, I have the heart and soul of a 150-year-old English woman.
Did you always intend to write about mystery and a love story?
Always mystery, because I'm never described or sold or shelved that way, but I have the heart of a mystery writer, because that's what I grew up doing, you know, going to Smuggler's Top with the famous five. That's where I went. And for me, as a reader and a writer, I really need the hook of the mystery to pull me through the story. So yeah, I write about family secrets. They're my favorite mysteries. I love history and I love the past, but in particular, I love the way it's tethered to the present and it refuses to lie dormant, you know, and I suppose that's where family secrets play into my stories, because I just love writing about them, the way they're little tendrils. You know, you can think you've concealed something, but the tendrils reach forward and cause mischief for people in the present.
So much of your work is set in England. You seem to have a fascination for also that period between the wars.
Yeah, I do. I love history, but as I say, with the being interested in history that still affects us now, the interwar period is where you see so much social change. You know, it's such a time of transition at the end of the First World War for women, of course, in England for the working classes. You know, all these things that were really given a shake-up by the First World War, and I find that fascinating to read about.
You and your family moved to London for part of 2008. Did you get a lot of inspiration?
I did, and you know, it's funny, 2008, I'd just finished my second book, The Forgotten Garden, and I hadn't started my third. And yet when I look back, in those 3 months, I actually did all the research that led to The Secret Keeper. London is one of those cities for me where my senses feel very alive when I go there. And I mean, there are many reasons. I love the aesthetic. I love the buildings, the architecture, the landscape. But as a history lover, so much of London, it has what I think of as living history.
Your new book, The Secret Keeper, is another mystery which begins in 1961 on a family picnic. 16-year-old girl, Laurel, is witness to a terrible crime which changes her forever. And the book flashes forward to 2011, then back to wartime London, as the secrets behind what happened begin to be revealed. Just wondering whether you could maybe read some of the book and just give us a bit of a flavour of how it plays.
Of course I can, like maybe half, do you think?
That would be good, I think.
Lock the doors. It's always dangerous when you ask a writer to read their own work.